Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren, and for this week's video I'm doing a September knitting podcast. We are going to talk about my finished objects, my whips, and any yarn acquisitions. There's a lot to talk about. I'm really excited. I have some water with me instead of coffee this time. I'm feeling a little sick. I'm really excited because I don't actually have many knitting or crocheting friends, so this is like the one time of the month I can talk to someone who actually knows what I'm talking about. I love Cameron. He just smiles and nods. But yes, grab a cup of coffee, grab a project, and we'll get started. First are my finished objects. I'm really excited to share about this one. I did my first pair of socks. I'll show you real quick. I knit up a pattern from Summer Lee's book all about socks, and I knit it in this beautiful colorway by Hedgehog Fibers called Down by the River. This is actually the first sock yarn I ever purchased. It was over a year ago. I was starting an internship with Amazon. I currently work for Amazon, but anyways, I was doing an internship in Phoenix and I got one of my first paychecks and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a big girl. I can order some big girl yarn. And so this is some of the first hand-dyed yarn I ever bought, and I knew I wanted to knit a pair of socks, but I hadn't quite felt ready yet to knit my first pair. So once I finally felt ready, after completing a few different complicated projects, I really felt like I could take this on. But the construction is super simple. It's her first basic sock pattern in her book. It's just a basic, it's from the top down to the bottom. So you start in a tube for like the calf and leg part, and then you do this heel part, the heel turn, and then I believe the gusset is what it's called. And then you do decreases on the toe and do a Kitchener stitch at the bottom. These, like, usually with projects I don't feel quite ready for, it takes longer to get these done. I got these done in 2 weeks. I knit the first one while I was home in Denver, and then I went to go visit my friend Annie in Sacramento and knit the second sock. But yes, I love these so much. I'm actually working on a second pair, which you'll see in my whips. And if you have never knit a pair of socks before, I highly recommend Summer Lee's book. We'll talk about it in the book section. But it was a great inspiration to get started and try out my first pair of socks. All right, next finished object. This is one whip I've had for a while and I'm really excited that it's done. It is the sweater for my mom. It's a free-handed sweater, so there's no pattern. It's kind of one I designed myself, but it is a classic raglan sweater like this in this great Nottingham teal color. It's Nottingham by Green Letter Day. And it has cuff sleeves like this, so I do, I believe, knit and purl two together at the very end, and then I do the cuff. And then the body, there were no decreases at all. It's just one straight body. But yes, this is going to be a birthday present for her in November. I'm actually going home to Fresno in October. Well, it's currently October 1st, but I'm going home October 12th to visit my mom. I'm going to bring it home with me, make sure everything fits. It's pretty much a second version of my green raglan sweater, but I knit it a little bit longer in the body and of course in this beautiful teal color. But here she is, bottom to top. But yes, I love anything merino wool. There's no mohair in here, so you're not really gonna overheat. She also lives in Fresno, which gets very hot, although today it was like 70 in Denver. I think it's still like 85, 90 there. So it's something that can, like, she can wear indoors or outdoors and she won't overheat. But yes, I'm very, very happy this is done. I can get it to her for her birthday, which is November 22nd. Yes, those are all of my finished objects. Next, we'll go into my whips. Okay, so first whip is actually yarn I purchased while I was in Sacramento visiting Annie. This was last weekend. And as soon as I finished my first pair of socks, I cast on my second. This is the same exact pattern by Summer Lee Knits, but I'm working on it now. It's another sock, or another pair of socks. This is the first one. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of the yarn, but it's La Bien Amie's Super Sock, and the color totally reminds me of a pickle, which I know sounds odd, but I'm knitting with it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this totally reminds me of a pickle color, because I recently tried, I believe it's Lay's pickle chips, and it's the same color that's like on the side of the bag, but it is so vibrant and beautiful. I got a second skein of yarn from La Bien Amie, and it was from a yarn shop in downtown Sacramento called Rumpelstiltskin. Beautiful shop. They've been around for over 50 years. Gorgeous. I loved it. The ladies were so nice. But I picked up yarn and also some tiny knitting needles. I actually have some right here. But in Summer Lee's book, she talks about using double pointed needles and then also knitting with shorties. and I wanted to give shorties a try. So I actually used them on this main leg of the sock, and then I'll use it again when I get down to the foot, but they are very slippery. That's what a lot of people say, and I can confirm they are slippery, but after knitting for a few hours, I really got the hang of them. So if you're interested in trying shorty socks, I highly recommend it for socks because it made it a lot easier and faster to knit the like tube part of the sock. But yes, these are, I believe, the Chai Goo red lace, because the string, if you can see, is red. But I have these in a 4mm size. They're not quite as small. I believe they're maybe twice as long. And I use them for the sleeves of my sweaters. Highly recommend. I love these needles. They are great. So my second whip is the Wholesome Sweater by Petite Knit, and it is for my boyfriend. I kind of posted recently I'm trying to break that sweater curse, like where you knit a sweater for your significant other and you break up during that time. Thankfully, we haven't broken up. But I'm currently kind of on Body Island. Since it's a sweater for my boyfriend, he has a longer torso. So it is a very long torso on the sweater, so I'm kind of in that Body Island area. It was actually my birthday last week, so I didn't work on it at all this weekend. I just wanted to work on things for myself. I tend to gift knit a lot, so I wanted to kind of set that boundary this weekend of like, this weekend is for me. So I wasn't working on it, but I've gotten pretty far. The last time, I think during my last podcast, I was working on the yoke, finished the yoke, made like, I think I only have 10 centimeters left of the body, but I'll show you real quick. Once again, this beautiful navy color. I'm reusing yarn from a failed project, but she's gorgeous. So there we are. You can see where I disconnected the sleeves. And then the body, she's looking good. I'm excited. I think I'll be able to finish it, not in time for his birthday, which I believe is October 9th, but in time for Christmas, which is my hope, because I want to work on other stuff. I don't want to be just monogamous to this sweater. I also have like my blanket that I'm working on, my second pair of socks. And so I'm just gonna get this done in time, but I've made great progress over the course of September. But hopefully I can finish the body by the end of October. All right. Ooh, oh, one more whip. Okay. One more whip. Thankfully, or no, actually technically it's 2 more whips, but thankfully I finished my 9 out of 10 color combo for my big green blanket. I will show you real quick. It was, I believe, Fairy Ring by Green Letter Day and DRK by Hedgehog Fibers. I crocheted up 2 tile worths of squares, and they're both blocked, but I only hand sewed one together. And I'm gonna set the other ones aside so I can hand sew all of them together at once. But here she is. I love this color combo. I think they work really well together, and I really loved the way DRK worked up. You can see it right here. Oh my gosh, beautiful. I love it. I love it when yarn dyers do something kind of out of the box. Like, I never would have thought these colors together would have worked well. It's pink and olive green and orange and white and blue, and it is just gorgeous. But yes, these are done. I have about 16 more granny squares to crochet for it, but I'm just gonna move on to my next and final color combination. So let me show you real quick. Oh my gosh, this is like my favorite, or one of my favorites so far. It is these 2 colors. Gorgeous, love it. So the first one is from a new yarn dyer I have never crocheted with before. Her DK weight yarn, I believe it's the Rose DK, is very similar to Madeline Tosh. It's a fuller, thicker DK, where Green Letter Day is a little more delicate. They both crochet great. So this is from Ruby and Rose. There we go, perfect. Okay, it is her Rose DK in the colorway Out of the Woods from her Taylor Swift in stock update. I love this yarn. It is so mermaidy and tie-dye. Actually, let me grab the cake real quick so you can see it all together. But here she is, very, very gorgeous. Very, very gorgeous. There we go. Take my face out of the way. But I've loved crocheting with it, and it works very well with that Green Letter Day shade. I'll show you real quick the back of the Out of the Woods label just so you can see all the information. Gorgeous. I love this yarn. I have been meaning to order from her for a long time. She has gorgeous, gorgeous yarns. I actually also ordered her colorway. I believe it is Lover Addie's version. Gorgeous. It's like this beautiful white base with like rainbow speckles. Very beautiful. I might order it if she has some left over. Oh my gosh. And so that color is with this very aqua teal. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. It is Fandom by Green Letter Day. Here's the label. Oh my gosh. She always has the cutest labels. And then the back has all the information about yardage and grams. One thing I love about Green Letter Day yarn is all of her skeins are 115 grams instead of 100. So you're most likely not gonna play yarn chicken, which I love. And they're the same price as other skeins of yarn. I believe her yarn's about $29 a skein, and you're getting 115 grams. Oh my gosh, amazing, I love it. But yeah, she has the most beautiful vivid colors, and this is the last color combo of my blanket. This is a project I've really loved, and I'm sure other people will want to make one, whether it's in pink or red or blue or purple. I highly recommend anyone to give it a try. It was so, so fun. One more whip I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to pull it out either because it's just a quick little update on my Josephine vest. I have finished the front and back panel. I just need to do the collar and the sleeves, but I really wasn't enjoying working on it anymore, which is fine. I'm not giving up on it. I'm just gonna put her aside and pick it back up right before next spring. So she's currently tucked away, not even gonna look at her. I think I just need to set it down. So when I pull it back out, I really enjoy working on it, because why work on a project if you aren't enjoying yourself? So yes, setting her aside, and she'll be done for next spring. Can you tell that I'm really into mermaid colors recently? Like, look, oh my gosh, so many fun teal green tie-dye colors I've been working on. Those are my finished objects in my whips. Next, I will go into yarn acquisitions. I will talk about yarn acquisitions as well as books that came in the mail. First, I'm going to talk about the thing that excites me the most. This is a yarn dyer I have never ordered from, and I was extremely excited to get this in the mail. She recently had her Neon Noir in-stock collection. I believe it's pronounced Ching fiber. So I got the Color Revolution in this teddy base. Holy moly. Let me just focus in. Oh my gosh, look how gorgeous that is. Doesn't it just remind you of like a golden doodles curls? I have never seen, I believe it's called like a boucle yarn before, but I ordered 3 skeins and I wanted to make a cardigan. I was only able to get my hands on 3 skeins, but thankfully she's having a pre-order that's open until Friday. It's currently Tuesday, the 1st of October. So that's Tuesday and then 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So October 4th is when it closes. I got 3 skeins, and I'm gonna order 3 more so I can make a sweater or a cardigan or something in this yarn, because it's so beautiful and I just want to make this statement piece project. And it is so gorgeous. I mean, I really fell in love with this yarn when I saw it originally on her Instagram page. And there's a lot of other gorgeous colors, like Back to Black was a gorgeous colorway, but I just fell in love. It's so gorgeous. So I got 3 skeins in her teddy base, and then I got 1 skein in her, I believe it's called the Dashing Sassy base. It is kind of like a fingering weight base. Let me see if I can look at the grams to yardage. But this one is, oh, it's 100 grams to 400 meters. So my guess is it's a fingering weight base. My plan for this is, I know I'm currently working on my green blanket, but I'm gonna do a kind of rainbow linen stitch blanket. It's inspired by this picture on Pinterest. It is a linen stitch blanket that's all these different variegated colors of the rainbow. And although this isn't rainbow, I really wanted to include it on the blanket. Like maybe I could have like a variegated green, a variegated blue, purple, so on and so forth. So this could be like my green one. I have a skein as well from Woolen Works that'll probably go in it. It's the Hi Barbie in DK. And I believe Ching Fiber, she didn't have any DK weight bases other than Teddy. So I figured I could hold this double and make a DK weight. But yes, and the reason I'm excited about this blanket is because it is not, or nothing is hand sewn together. Bless the soul of the blanket I'm working on, but hand sewing all those granny squares together has kind of been driving me a little bit crazy. I love it. Like I set it down when I don't want to work on it, and I'll pick it back up when I do. But I think working on a blanket when it is all crocheted together is going to save me. But I saw the picture and it kind of inspired me to start collecting skeins. Thankfully, I got a gift for graduating college. It was $500 from my dad, and that's where I could make the initial investment on the field day collection for my green blanket. For this one, I do not have the extra money to buy $500 of yarn all at once, so I'm just getting a skein here and there, like this one, to save up for that blanket. And I won't be able to probably work on it for a while, so I have the time to save up a few skeins. Hi, Luna. She says hello. But yes, excited. I love it. It's for that blanket, and I'm excited just to have it in my stash to work on later on. Okay, Next, I got, so first of all, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but Hedgehog Fibers is one of my favorite yarn dyers. She has this colorway I saw recently called Crush, and I didn't want to buy like a whole $40 skein of yarn. So recently Cameron, he gifted me some yarn for my birthday, and I asked if I could include this sock mini. It is the color Crush. It is beautiful. I'll include it right here. Tap on it so you can see it. Ooh, there we go. It is a beautiful, beautiful color. I'm just starting to collect these pink mini skeins just to build my stash and just to look at and touch and love on. I will knit with it eventually or crochet, but I just wanted to hold on to her. She's so pretty. There's a lot of colorways by Hedgehog Fibers I want to have in my stash, but I don't know what to do with, so I think sock minis are a great way to do that. So yeah, she'll be in my stash for a while. Maybe I'll make some socks or some granny square project. I don't know, but love this colorway. Once again, it is Crush in her sock base. So it is 20 grams and 80 meters. 100%, oh no, sorry, 90% merino wool and 10% nylon. Gorgeous. Okay. Next, this was along with that purchase of the sock mini. This is the yarn that Cameron got me for my birthday. It is Knitting for Olive compatible cashmere in the shade Licorice. So it's black. So 2 skeins. It's so tiny, but I know that cashmere is very expensive. So I got 2 balls of this to make a Sophie scarf for fall. So I actually also wanted to do a new profile picture for my YouTube, my Instagram. So I thought wearing like my brown Monday sweater with a black Sophie scarf, my hair down. I just really wanted a nice picture to represent myself professionally on this platform as well as Instagram. And I'm really excited to also do a video on knitting the Sophie scarf. I know I did that video on knitting the Monday sweater and it has over 1,000 views, which is insane. Thank you to everyone who's watched it. All right, next, I know I mentioned I got that La Bien Amie for those second pair of socks, the kind of pickle color, but I got one other skein also in her merino super sock base. Sorry, reading the label. It's in this, oh my gosh, neon pink. I'm gonna put my face aside so you can see it. Oh, beautiful, and there's the label. I'll flip it over too so you can see the back of the label. Ooh. There we go. So there's everything, all the information. Most of it's in French, which is fine. But yes, oh gosh. It's in the shade, if I can find it. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm gonna put the name right here if I pronounce it wrong, but I believe it's called the Fluoro, oh gosh, Morganite. I know that word, but it's so beautiful. I have to look up later what that actually means. I used to take French in high school, I should know, but it's been a while. I'm like fully graduated college. It's been a hot minute since I've spoken French. So beautiful. I'm gonna do another pair of socks in this color. It is like this neon peachy pink. Gorgeous. When I saw it, it was just so vivid and bright and beautiful. I couldn't help but pick it up. I was actually visiting my friend in Sacramento to celebrate my birthday. I was visiting my friend Annie and we stumbled upon this yarn shop in downtown Sacramento and I was so happy to make a birthday purchase. One final skein of yarn. Well, it's one skein, but I ordered like 7 of them, and it is this beautiful fuchsia pink. It is the Malabrigo Rasta in the shade 093 Fuchsia. This is for my first ever commission project. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have all the other skeins right here with me. My stash is just to my right. Oh, there's so many of them. They're so beautiful. My boyfriend Cameron has a lovely sister named Jessica who actually does photography in Northern California. She did my grad photos for me and she recently expressed how she wanted to do a commission piece. So she paid for all the yarn, but the actual cost of knitting it is free. It's a bulky weight. It'll go by super fast, but it was kind of nice to do kind of like an artist exchange like that. And I'm really excited to knit this up. I'm planning to cast it on next weekend. As far as the pattern, by the way, let me give like the yarn a moment like I gave every other yarn. Oh my gosh, beautiful. And it smells like when you dye kind of eggs on Easter, that vinegar smell. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. Actually, talking about the pattern will be great to go into our next section, which is books I purchased. I got both of these at Barnes & Noble, kind of as a birthday present to myself as well, but for the pink yarn, the Rasta yarn, I'm doing a pattern out of Fast and Furious Knits, 18 Speedy Sweater and Top Patterns for Busy Knitters. And it is by Jamie Dorfman. I love her YouTube videos. Yes, really excited to knit a pattern out of this. Let me find it real quick. I have a post-it note marking it. But it is the Bambi jumper. In her book, she has it in a beautiful, like, kind of orange creamsicle color. But I'll show you real quick. Here it is. Beautiful. I love her videos. I love her knits. It's really inspiring to see someone my age, like, just killing it in the knitting business, and seeing her make this beautiful book and put out all these gorgeous patterns. I'm really excited to support her and also do my first ever commission piece. All right, on to the second book. It is The Sock Project by Summer Lee. First of all, it is a gorgeous book and the patterns are amazing. I have 10 patterns in here I want to knit. The first one I'm working on is the first pattern in the book, and it is the basic sock number 1, the heel flap and gusset. I love this pattern. For the aqua socks I did, I knit this pattern. Once again, it has that unique heel, if you can see it. Let me focus the camera. Here we are. It has, let me turn the page. Oh yes, so the heel flap, which is what I'm currently on for the pickle sock. The heel flap, the heel turn, and the gusset. This was a lot easier than I thought it would be. The nice thing about this book is it breaks it down step by step, which is so lovely. And it goes in depth about like what needles to use, what like sock materials to use. It breaks down like what wool to nylon percentage you want. There's so many beautiful patterns in here. So the next one I want to knit, because I'm probably going to do 3 socks in this basic sock number 1 pattern. And then the next sock I want to do is the basic sock number 2, and it is the Afterthought heel. The one thing I like about this book is there's an entire chapter about basic socks in which she recommends you knit tons of basic socks. Love it. Oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. It is such a beautiful, beautiful book. Like, I want that. I want to put all my knit socks in a basket. Those are the 2 books I got, and those are all of my yarn acquisitions, my whips, my finished objects. Oh my gosh. September was such a fun month. I think I've mentioned this before in a past podcast, but I don't have any knitting or crocheting friends, except my friend Phoebe, but she's not here in Denver. So sitting down every month and talking about all of this with you is so, so fun and exciting. I'm so grateful I get to sit down and hopefully have this community of people very soon. So whatever you're working on or anything I talked about in this video you're excited about or want to try, let me know. We can talk about it in the comments. I can't wait to hear more, and thank you for tuning in this month, and I will tune in next month in October for everything I worked on then. But once again, thank you, and I'll see you next month.